You may recall that Meta, the pistol, had scores of 49, 49,
there was a hit
49.
there to the right to Met. Yes, there it is. It's a green light.
On guard.
Victory to Met.
Overall standings after the second discipline of fencing, Daniel Marsala of Italy has a very handy lead over Meta of West Germany, Martin of Sweden, Buzu of France, Starostin of the USSR, Kadlec of Czechoslovakia, Paychek of Poland, and Paolo Marsala of Italy. And there's the second group of competitors: Dureo, Jung, Burley, Phelps, Cisnega, Minder, Spies, and Peritz.
Roderick, you've moved up the placings with your performance in the fencing. Is that one of your best categories?
I think it's not my worst event, but it's not my best either.
Do you think you need to be strong in one particular category to mix it with the best in this sport?
Well, of course, it's good to have a good and strong event, but I think if you're just even in all of them, you're going to do pretty well at the final result.
And what about fencing? After you've fenced against an opponent, say 2 or 3 times or 10 times in the past, do you get to know his style, his weakness?
Well, yes, you get to know his style and weaknesses, because then you know what is his specialty and you watch out for them. But if he's a good opponent, even if you know him, he will always beat you.
The third discipline in the modern pentathlon is swimming. This race is a 300-metre freestyle event against the clock. Swimming the distance in a standard time of 3 minutes 54 seconds earns 1,000 points, with each second worth 8 points above or below the standard. Station number 2, Richard Phelps from Great Britain. In station number 3, Iva Cisnega from Mexico. In station 4, Andy Jung from Switzerland. He's spent 9 months in Australia preparing for the World Championships and this IBM Champion of Champions. Station 5, Paolo Marsala, the younger brother of the leader, Daniel Marsala. Paolo from Italy in 8th place.
Okay, in this first heat, we should see some very smart times. Although I'd say these guys will be getting a little bit tired. They're fitting all these 5 events into one day, but you'll still find that they'll swim very well.
So Phelps, closest to us, probably the favourite in this first heat. In the recent World Championship in Melbourne, he recorded a time of 3:15.8.
Cisnega from Mexico also, he'll be very hard to beat too.
Reading across the pool, Phelps closest, then Cisnega of Mexico, Jung of Switzerland, and Paolo Marsala from Italy over on the far side. Nothing between the swimmers in the early stages.
This is a 25-metre pool. They've got to complete 12 laps of this pool.
Paolo Marsala on the far side, having a slight lead over Richard Phelps of Great Britain. Coming up to complete the 3rd lap. And let's cross to Peter Wilkins at poolside with Terry Gathercole.
Terry, Andy Jung came out here from Switzerland largely to develop his running. Has he needed developing in the swimming as well?
Well, he was a very competent athlete, Peter. He competed in Los Angeles Games and was 12th there. He felt a need to improve his swimming, and he was coming out here to train with some of the Australian modern pentathlon athletes. We've helped him with his swimming at Killarney Heights, in as much as we've kept him fit. He was a fairly competent swimming athlete in the beginning, and he's now in the pool swimming the 300 metres for this event, and I must say that he's done a pretty handy job.
How is he stylistically?
Well, modern pentathlon being 300 metres is an odd distance. It's not a sprint hardly, and it's one not really an endurance event, but you can't take it out too hard. Andy has had a good 6-beat kick, good high elbow stroke, and I think he fits well into this sort of competition.
So Paolo Marsala on the far side, having a slight lead over Richard Phelps of Great Britain. Then Young and Cisnega in the two centre lanes, but the younger brother of Daniel certainly doing it in style.
Goes through the 200 in 2:04.
Of the 12 laps, with 2 laps to go, they'll get the whistle, and then they'll have two laps to go.
So Richard Phelps, who recorded a very good time in the recent World Championship. Paolo Masala, he is main danger. Masala with a commanding lead now. Phelps in second place, and not a lot between the other two competitors. So the last stages now for Masala and Phelps. Young looks as though he'll come in fourth place. But Masala has finished in first place. Phelps coming in for second. And a close go for the third and fourth, with Cisnega just taking that third position.
With that swim from Masala, I think he'll move more ahead in the competition, thus setting him in a great position for this riding and the running section.
Second heat of the swimming freestyle in station number 2, Mike Burley from the United States. So he's 11th of the 16 competitors after the two disciplines. In station number 3, Joël Bouzou of France. In lane 4, Peter Minder of Switzerland.
Peter, yeah, he's a very big chap. He's going to obviously put in quite a good effort in the swim.
And a rousing cheer now for Australia's own Matthew Spies.
That's good. Matthew is a very fine competitor. He should put in a good swim here.
So repeating that the swimmers are against the clock. The standard time of 3 minutes 54 seconds earns 1,000 points, with each second worth 8 points above or below that standard. Closest to camera in station 1, Burley from the United States. Then in lane 4, Bouzou. Minder, second from the top, and Matthew Spies on the far side. And already it's the American Mike Burley going away to a strong lead.
Yes, Mike Burley should record a time under 3 minutes 30 for the 300 metres. He's going ahead and he'll probably do that time.
2 laps completed at 12, and it's Mike Burley of the United States powering through the water. Bronze medalist in the 1983 World Championship and an Olympian at Los Angeles last year. He's the American national champion.
A time for Mike Burley under 3:30 would give him at least points over 1,200, which is a very good swim for pentathlon.
So Burley having a lead of about 5 metres from Joël Bouzou of France. He turns in second place. Spies is third and Minder in fourth. But this is Bouzou.
That's right, the Frenchman there is hanging on to Mike Burley. He also should record a good time.
Bouzou certainly in striking distance of our leaders after the second discipline. So he'll be looking for a fast time here.
That's right, Bouzou is currently lying fourth in the competition with 1,845 points. A good swim here could keep him in touch with 2 events to go after the swim.
Spies turning in third place and Minder in fourth. Minder, one of a strong contingent of Swiss athletes. He's an insurance broker. The Swiss pentathletes work in the morning and spend the rest of the day training. They run and swim alone, but fence with a club and have access to a riding coach and horses at the Swiss Federal Stables. They receive an allowance, by the way, of 400 Swiss francs a month. It's about $200 Australian from a government sports body.
Peter's currently lying 14th in this competition, although he's out of contention for a placing, but will certainly put in a strong effort in the remaining events.
Matthew Spies in third place. Hasn't been a noted swimmer, but he's improved rapidly in that area.
That's right. Matthew's been in the sport some 6-7 years, and when he first started pentathlon, couldn't hardly swim very much at all, but with a lot of hard work, he's improved his swim up to world standard.
Coming up to a time of 2:50.
The whistle's gone. There's 2 laps to go.
So this looks like a good performance by Mike Burley. A pretty fast time here. Bouzou in second place, Spies third, and Minder of Switzerland in fourth position. Mike Burley of the United States. 25 metres to go. His time round 3:10. He's opened up a good break over Bouzou. Spies turning in third place. Minder will be last home. Coming up for the closing stages. Not a bad time here for Mike Burley of the United States. Hand timed at about 3:25, so he'll be pleased with that effort. Bouzou of France in second place, and Matthew Spies now coming in for third.
That's a good swim for Burley. That'll certainly catch him up a few points and get him a bit closer to the leading people.
So Mike Burley, with that time of about 3:25, will pick up well above the 1,000 points. At the end of the swimming discipline, Daniel Marsala now leads by 267 points after recording fastest swim of the 16 athletes. Dietel Metti of West Germany has displaced Roderick Martin in third place. Starostin is fifth ahead of Bouzou, Paycheck and Richard Phelps of Great Britain. And it would be very difficult to see any of the remaining 8 competitors figuring in the major placings.
20 minutes is not a lot of time to get to know somebody, particularly when there's a communication problem, but that's all the competitors have to spend with their selected horse before they go out into the riding competition. Here's where luck plays a part for perhaps the only time during the pentathlon. If you get a good horse, you can go out and breeze around the course, in this case about 600 metres, to be completed in less than 1 minute and 43 seconds. But if you get a bad horse, there can be a few ugly refusals, and that can mean the difference between winning and losing. Toby and I have just been out checking the course, and Gordon will tell you more about it, but there's a few little intricacies.
The first rider on course.
Toby will not be negotiating the course because the jockey weighed in heavy. But Daniel Marsala will be the overall leader as we go into this fourth discipline of show jumping. 15 jumps over a 600-metre course, 1 double, 1 treble and 1 water jump, and Marsala doing very well in the 3 disciplines. Successfully over the first.
For every knockdown he gains, that's a deduction of 30 points. For any refusal he makes, that'll be a deduction of 40 points.
Time allowed on the course is 1 minute 30. A clear round in time or under scores 1,100 points.
There will be time faults over the time, but that's not so important as the knockdowns and refusals are more costly to the rider. Now there's a refusal there. That's 40 points deducted from Marsala's score.
You'll have to approach that fence again.
There's a knockdown there. It's 30 points deducted. It's coming up to number 9. Number 10's a treble.
A clear, B clear, C clear.
So far he's got a total deduction of 70 points. He might also have some time faults. It was a pretty slow round.
2 more jumps remaining for Daniel Marsala.
14.8 clear.
And there's another 40 points lost.
So, drama here for our overall leader.
Being in the lead and going off first in the ride puts a lot of pressure on Daniel Marsala. And this gives more incentive. There's another 30 and another 30 again. He's losing a lot of points here.
And he's also well over the time.
That's right. For every second over the time, he loses 2 penalty points. So he's lost quite a lot of points there. That'll bring him back to the field, which makes the event more interesting.
So a big hand for Daniel Marsala, but I'm sure he'll be dissatisfied with that performance.
The second rider on course.
Paulo Marsala, the younger brother of Daniel. Now with a great chance to really put the pressure on his older brother. In second place in the overall standings. And a good round here could almost take him to the lead.
That's right. His brother's lost so many points in that first ride. This brings the rest of the field with a great chance now. Could prove very interesting in the running section.
Time coming up.
He's coming up to his first jump now.
Clear at 1. Clear at 2.
This is a more free-flowing horse compared to his brother's horse.
Clear at 3.
Remembering the horses are drawn by ballot, so it really is luck of the draw.
Clear at
It's
5.
going quite well so far. Coming up to jump number 6. He got a little bit left behind there.
Obstacle did not come down,
Clear at 7.
No penalty deductions.
and Marsala been very consistent so far.
Clear at 8. Clear at 9.
Coming up to the treble.
10, 8 clear. 3 clear.
Yes, that's
Clear,
clear.
clear.
This performance could well take Paulo to the lead.
11 clear.
4 more obstacles remaining.
12 clear.
Coming up to 13. Yes, this is quite a good round. He's not losing many points at all.
We've just learnt that Daniel lost 210. So his brother has certainly closed the gap. Paulo Marsala from Italy, really putting the pressure on the Olympic champion.
Yes, that was quite a good round. That
We
was
have
great.
progressive points for Daniel Marsala, the first rider. He had a time on course of 1:19.97. Anatoly Starostin of the Soviet Union.
So the 1980 Olympic gold medalist in the individual and teams event. Anatoly Starostin of the Soviet Union, 25 years of age, second in the recent World Championship in Melbourne. If he can have a clear round here, he is right in the firing line for the cross country and the gold medal in the IBM Champion of Champions.
That's right. He's a very good runner. If he pulls out a clear round here, he'll be up with the leaders.
Start.
Through the start, jump number 1. That's clear. He's looking good. Going along quite nicely. He shouldn't have any time faults. Coming around the wall to approach jump number 6. There's a lot of pressure on these athletes. They know that every knockdown or every refusal means seconds in that running course.
This really is a sweet performance by Anatoly.